Hello, my friends. Welcome back to some more Eternal Crusade 2 Dawn of War MMORPG. We're here to celebrate the success of Space Marine. How fun it's been, how great it's been. But like any good game, I have to move on. Like any good locust, I have to go to greener pastures. I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about what I think of the game, since I've managed to pump out the full 45 episodes, same as Aliens, Dark Descent. This has been a really cool game. I've really enjoyed this game. For those of you Warhammer fans out there, you're definitely going to like this game. This was a very good Warhammer game. It was everything good about Eternal Crusade, with nothing bad. Everything good about Space Marine 1. Could have a few more types of weapons. Could have a few more game modes with vehicles, perhaps, preferably. Or with horde modes, bigger horde modes. Could do with a few more races, because as it stands now, all there really is Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, and Tyranids. There isn't really anything else. So, sadly, what Eternal Crusade had in the races, where you could play as the Eldar, or you could play as the Orcs, it's missing those things. But it does have the Tyranids. Tyranids look really good, feel really good, have really good models. PvP. PvP is pretty cool. Pretty good. If you liked the Eternal Crusade PvP, chances are you're gonna like this Eternal War PvP. Army Painter. I wanted to talk about the Army Painter. I am a huge fan of this. This is immensely cool, being able to paint your army. For example, if you wanted to make the majority of his helmet, you know, like red, and make the stripes silver, then you could. Kind of looks cool. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. Being able to paint each piece, being able to customize the colors. I didn't even know you could do that. Being able to make this Imperial Eagle gold. You could even make this silver as a background to help flesh out the gold. Or the red, whatever. This army painter is very nice. When you go to Chaos, it's not as good, because you can't change the armor set. They haven't given us the option for armor sets yet. All they've given us is a few skins. Or you can make your own skin. Which is what I ended up doing. But I'm hoping eventually in the future they'll give us the same customization stuff for Chaos as they do as the other guys. I wanted to talk about the Army Painter, because the Army Painter is fairly important. Some people come to this game and they're going to look at all this, okay? And they're going to look at this and they're going to say, well, what the hell is the need for this? You know, it doesn't do anything. As far as multiplayer is concerned, all it does is it controls your looks. Why is this so important? And I wanted to talk to you today about that, because this has origins, alright? This is called the Army Painter. This is Dawn of War 1. For those of you who know what Dawn of War 1 is, good for you. For those of you who don't know what Dawn of War is, Dawn of War is a game that came out before Company of Heroes 1. Yeah, before Company of Heroes 1. That was essentially used for the engine of Company of Heroes 1. This game turned into Company of Heroes 1. Company of Heroes 1 turned into Dawn of War 2. Dawn of War 2 turned into Company of Heroes 2. Which then they made a whole new engine for Dawn of War 3, and everybody hated it. I am planning on doing a series on this game once I figure out what's wrong with the mods. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to play the original campaign with mods turned on. I don't know if it's possible, but it would sure be. It sure sounds like it might be. That's why I've been working on this. But anyway, I brought you here to look at this. This is the army painter. So for example, if we want to choose chaos skits, right? Chaos skits. You had all these colors. And you had a couple of different options. Most people in this game would be more familiar with the this particular guy, this particular set. This is called the Night Lords. That's what this is. When you come here and you click on this and you click Night Lords. Do you see the correlation? So here you've got your Night Lords, here you've got your Black Legion, here you've got your Alpha Legion, here you got your Alpha Legion, you got your Black Legion, you got your Night Lords. So there's actually pretty good consistency for the colors. They have the colors right. See? And as you can see, the army painter was a big thing back then. And you could change the color of the trim. So there you go. That's the army painter from Dawn of War. So yeah, that's where the army painter comes from. That's its whole original thing, its whole original purpose. Because they treated the game just like the players treated the figure players treated their figures, their miniatures. They're as honest as they could be to the IP. Eventually, they created a whole other thing of nonsense. Called, yes, that's right. Soulstorm. Lately, I've been trying to get
Sega.
some of these old ones functioning. Now, apparently, you can play the campaign campaign with some of these mods turned on. Which, if that's true, then I'm going to do that. But if it's not true, then I'm just going to play the campaign as it is. The difference being that I want to crank up the difficulty, and I want to crank up the graphics. Which I almost have functioning. I almost have it ready that way. Okay, so this is the Dawn of War Soulstorm Ultimate Apocalypse. And when we go to the Army Painter, you'll see there is quite a few options. So you got your Chaos Space Marine, right? You're going to start to recognize some of these things. You got your Alpha Legion. Oh, you know what? Let's choose. Here's one. This is one. This is one people are going to recognize. Now, I did accidentally see some spoiler footage, so I know that Rubric Marines are here. People who played Space Marine 2 and then saw quote-unquote Rubric Marines, they would have looked at them as like, oh, it's blue evil Space Marines. But normal people that played this game would tell you how weird it was to see Rubric Marines, because Rubric Marines are fairly rare. They're, as far as the video game universe is concerned, they're very rare. I think you see them in Chaos Gate. The Warhammer video game Chaos Gate, and I think you see them in Gladius, maybe? But other than that, Space Marine 2 is one of these very few games that has ever talked about this particular Marine. This particular Marine is called a Rubric Marine. The whole joke behind this particular type of unit, Marine, is that it's just an empty shell of armor. The body inside has been changed into like a ghost. So when you kill them, when you rip their heads off, as I saw in an accidental spoiler, the ghost, like, disappears, the armor falls onto the ground, but according to the lore, the sorcerers, which actually have meat inside them, can go around and reanimate the armor suits, bring them back to life. That's a whole part of the, I think it's a word bear, no, which one is, that's, trying to remember. Raptors, there it is. This is what we are always playing as in, this is what we play as whenever we play as, the Flying Slaneshi. Emperor's Children? Yeah, let's go with Emperor's Children. Yeah, so this is a Slaneshi Raptor, see? What's really neat is, this is the corn one. And so as you can see in Space Marine, when you look at the Chaos Astartes here, you see World Eaters. Do you see the color? Do you see the color resemblance? For the World Eaters. And that's their icon, is a pair of jaws going around a planet. And you can see that in the badges. You go to badges, and you click the badge. Wherever it is, because there are so many. Well, you get the point. I don't think it's Alpha Legion, I don't think it's Black Legion, I don't think it's Death Guard. I don't even think the color set used by Space Marine 2 Chaos is here. The closest I can think is Night Lords, but in actuality there is another one. Word Bearers. Emperor's Children, no. Iron Warriors, no. It's none of these. The ones, the Space Marine 2 Chaos that are in the campaign are none of these. None of these options. But then when you look over here, you have Chaos Demons, and you have Demons of Zinich. And all of a sudden, you have, teal, blue, you have all the right colors. And in fact, I think there's even a segment that has this, which is called a Helldrake. For those of you who don't know what a Helldrake is, it's like the equivalent of a tank that has been given the soul of a demon. And which specific demon? I think it's actually one of the Screamers. And so these are all the different colors that come with the different things. Screamers, what it is. Yeah, there it is. So these are, so when you ask, what particular faction is it that we are fighting? When we are fighting chaos in the campaign, when you're seeing things, when you're fighting the things that are coming, to answer that question, it's the Demons of Zinich. As far as the color scheme's concerned, as far as the eye, the blue and the yellow. This is what Imra flies around on. This thing. Which would technically make Imra, I think, a herald of Zinich. Because the heralds of Zinich are the only ones that can actually get the hovering disc. Yeah, these would be for corn, so... Trying to think. Where's the Lord of Change? There's no Lord of Change. For secrets. No. No, that's a slant-ass sheet. Receiver of sneak. That's just a special defiler. Herald of Slaanesh. No. Damonites. No. I'm trying to think. I guess I don't see a Lord of Change here. I could have sworn there was one. But I do know that the Chaos Space Marine, I think they get, they just don't have, for whatever reason, they don't have a, Demons of Zenich. In color. Chaos Dreadnought. That's what we're looking for. So there it is. So that's what it's called, and God, it took me forever to find that. So this is what you end up fighting later in Space Marine 2, is this thing here. It looks a little different. Obviously, the one in Space Marine 2 looks better. But this is essentially what it is. It's called a Chaos Dreadnought. It's basically the equivalent to a Dreadnought, but for Chaos. And instead of getting guns or a fist or flamethrowers or whatever, it just gets two really big saws. Anyway. There's, oh, right. God, I totally forgot. So, this mod actually adds Tyranids. Believe it or not. Now, this was years and years and years ago that Tyranids were added. But, it's funny seeing the fidelity of the creatures being followed. Now, how these models are made, I think, personally, I have absolutely no idea. But I think that they were taken from Dawn of War 2. And I base that on this model, which comes from Dawn of War 2. For those of you who don't know, this guy, he's the last boss in Dawn of War 2. He's called Ulker. Technically speaking, he's what's called a Great Unclean One, which is a demon type. But he is not here in Dawn of War 1 originally. He belongs in Dawn of War 2. You can kind of tell because his model's a little glitched out. So anytime that you hear them saying they are overflowing with the rage of Daemon Prince Angron, well, there you go. There's, to answer your question, that's Daemon Prince Angron. He's quite large. He's so large you can't even zoom out properly to see his wings, because compared to everybody else, he's just fucking huge. I mean, I think he's basically the same scale as the Great Unclean One, and the Great Unclean One is fucking huge, so he's fucking massive. Nurglings, these are what you see in Total War 3, when you're playing with Nurgle. And as you can see, there's quite a few, there's quite a few different versions of this, which is pretty funny, because that's the Chaos Demons. Color of the Chaos Demons. Daemons of Sineach, Daemons of Khorne, Daemons of Chaos Undivided, Daemons of Nurgle, Demons of Slaanesh, Beasts of Apocalypse, Demonic Scourge, Demons Undivided, Incursion of Shadows, Khorne, Nurgle, who's a different year. Go with yeah, so there's an each and there's Daemons of... Not sure the difference, to be honest. Like, lore-wise. Obviously, the color-wise is quite obvious, but the lore-wise, I'm not certain. I think I actually like the Daemons of Sineach more, and that seems to be the color scheme that the Space Marine 2 Chaos seems to have gone with. Yeah, quite a few things available for Chaos Demons. Chaos Space Marines feel more like Space Marines, sorta. This is what Imra is, technically speaking. These are what you kind of see also in the game. Chaos Sorcerers. Very useful buggers. Very useful indeed. Of course, you have the ultimate mech nonsense. Which I guess in theory, supposedly, when Titans get absorbed by Chaos, they turn into what are called Feral Titans. Basically, Chaos Titans. Which then proceed to fuck shit up, as they use 3 Meltas on each arm. 3 giant flamethrowers. So 6 giant flamethrowers. And of course, there's your... Look pretty cool. Gotta say. Got your raptors. Yeah. These are pretty ridiculous from my memory. In fact, Imra himself looks a little bit like the Mutilators and the Obliterators. And of course you ask yourself, what on earth is this? Well, this is the Greater Daemon. It came from a Space Marine, supposedly, at some point, but it's gigantic now. And it has a plasma cannon in his arm. It has a double barrel autocannon. Oh wait, no, I think those are actually lasers. Yeah, so two plasma laser cannons, and then on the outside he has a heavy bolter. What's that? So on the other hand, he has like a, I don't even know if that does anything. I think it just glows. Basically, he uses this hand to slaps you really hard. There's two versions. There's the obliterators, which want to be at range, and there's the mutilators, which want to be in melee. Now I know the models don't stand up quite so well to Space Marine 2 standards. But as you can see, there's quite a few races. So there's, for example, there's Imperial Guard. You're fairly familiar with them. See them a lot in, see a lot of. You know what I mean. This guy, he's a Fox operator. Then you have a general with his what is it that they are called? The 8th Cadian? Yeah, look, there they are, right there. The 8th Cadian. And I think it's Cascarins that we see a little bit of. Right in the trailer, in the beginning, when went in episode 1 of my series, when I said they're fucked. And spores are falling out of the sky and the Imperial Guardsmen are looking at them. That's what they are. They're called Cascarins. This is what helps you. This is what helps you in the battle. Called the Lehman Russ. These are called Imperial Guardsmen. Oh yeah, God, I totally forgot about the horse riders. Supposedly, these are lore friendly on one planet. Basically, they ride on top of horses with spears and gas masks. This is like their lowest tier unit. Other than this unit gets smashed by this unit, but then this unit gets smashed by everything else that exists. Looks pretty cool, eh? You know, say what you will about Dawn of War 1, it's got some highlights. And for those of you who played Darktide, I know that Darktide doesn't have anything to do hardly with Space Marine 2, other than that it's in the same universe. Ogrins are essentially genetically rejected humans that the 8th Cadians and other forms of the Imperial Guard keep as like a type of soldier. As long as you're nice to them, they stay nice to you. Supposedly they're docile. Their personalities. I don't know the lore of Ogrins, but they're a whole thing. And that's the version from Dawn of War 1. Well, isn't that nice? A field medic. Oh, that's cool. See that special little shoulder plate there? Isn't that neat? Got your flag boy who holds the standards. These are what you see on that platform on Avarax when you're trying to fight the Tyranids to get onto the glitchy elevator of glitchy nonsense. The elevator that blocked me for 2 weeks until last night. And you saw that they had forklifts on their fronts. And they were yellow, trying to make fun of aliens and also trying to make fun of the alien forklifts, which was a genius, hilarious joke, by the way. Absolutely no copyright issues at all. But normally they look like this. It's essentially an attack vehicle that the Imperial Guard used. Oh yeah, this is like their biggest artillery piece, basically. Or not biggest, but biggest open top one. You see this vehicle in the wreckage all over the place. Very specifically on Kadaku. When you're playing as Titus, and you see like the fortress that's already been killed and everyone's dead inside it, you can see a bunch of these. They're called basilisks. It's where you have the first major fight to get through the door, and then the door yells at you and says that you're slow. You have to do that fight from the drop pod that lands right directly in front of you. And you have to run, you can run around the wreckage that's directly in front of it. That wreckage is this, basically. I don't think we've seen any of these in Space Marine 2. I don't think so. We did see one of these. I don't even know what that is. Now this is the vehicle that Titus arrived in. When Titus and the other Deathwatch team came during the cinematic, and then they get blasted out those doors right there. Right there and right there. This vehicle here, this is the vehicle that crash lands in the first Space Marine 2 level. I've never even seen that. That must have come out in a new update. Because that looks cool as fuck. This is supposedly lore friendly. This is supposedly a thing. It's the Imperial Guard's biggest artillery. They have big artillery. That's kind of their main thing. Ah, there it is. So this is called a fire sword. And it has 3 giant flamethrowers, a giant cannon, 2 medium-sized cannons, a shit ton of machine guns all over it. 1 big forwards-facing cannon. It's pretty strong. This is an even bigger version of that same thing, where instead of having 3 flamethrowers, it has 2 las cannons, I think, or 2 artillery cannons. And this is basically another thing that's just getting ridiculous. Do you see how ridiculous the tanks are for the Imperial Guard? How did the Imperial Guard lose? See what I mean? Plus, they get their own version of the Titan. I don't particularly like that. I think that looks kind of dumb. But that storm sword. Goddamn. And also that storm hammer. Goddamn. Friggin' cool. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get a little bit of Dawn of War 1 in here once in a while. And of course we have the Tyranids, so who could forget the Lictor? Am I right? This is the creature we saw in the campaign. Doing the tornadoes. That's a decent close-up of what they kind of look like. You can't really tell from a distance in Space Marine 2, but this is a good way to kind of tell. Now these are called Gene Stealers, and we never actually see any of them, which is puzzling. Now this is a version of the Hormigaunt that instead of having one long rifle version, they have two little bio-pistol versions. They dual-wield little bio-pistols. They're even smaller. They're a little bit higher tier than Hormagaunts, but a little bit lower tier than Termagaunts. So Termagaunts squirt their stuff. Doing all kinds of weird stuff. Not sure what he's up with him. Then you got your Spine Gaunts that shoot their little bio pistols. You got your Lictor, as opposed to the Lictor Alpha, which is a lot bigger and more awful. Here's the piece of shit. This is the guy that burrows up and down into the ground and totally fucks your shit up. Especially on the max difficulty. They're called Raveners. And here's the ones that people are somewhat semi-familiar with as Warriors. This particular game mods them to look more like this, as opposed to what you see in Space Marine 2. I don't think we see these in Space Marine. Ah, these. Yes, you see these lots. They essentially float around and use their brain waves to destroy you. A bigger. Don't see any of them. This you see a few times. This is the thing that kills Titus, or almost kills Titus, and it's the same thing that I just fought again for a second time. Called a Carnifex. Then there's the Uberfex. There's a whole lot different. Other than that, it's fucking heat. The same creature basically, but just fucking way bigger. Yeah, it's just way bigger. You can tell. And then you got the Turner Vergon. I think there's like 3, I guess. Not sure the difference. Model-wise, there is no difference. Then you got the Tyrgon, which is terrifying. It's like 6 giant arms and a giant tail. It's basically like a Ripper, but on steroids. 2 does all the burrowing nonsense, but it's like a giant burrowing monster. Hierophant Biotitan. Yep. Hate that. Yep, hate that. That's wonderful. But obviously, as far as Tyranids are concerned, you don't see all of these. All you really see are Hormagaunts, Termagaunts, Lictors, Thomethropes, and the Carnifex. That's all you really see in Space Marine 2, as far as Tyranids are concerned. But it shows quite a few of them. Oh, and gargoyles. God, is there even gargoyles in this? I don't know if... I didn't think so. Yeah, so there are no gargoyles. So they never even made it into this mod, basically. That's the other one. That's the one that you see a lot of, as far as Tyranids are concerned. There are the gargoyles. They fly around a lot. I thought there was. They're not. Oh yeah, and then the Hive Tyrant. So this is what people were all like, oh, what is a Hive Tyrant? Well, this is supposedly what a Hive Tyrant is. Basically an even more monstrous, ridiculously monstrous Carnifex. But the difference is that instead of having 4 blades, there's these 2, I think they're called bioprojectors, if I remember correctly. Bioprojector cannons or something. And these are anti-vehicle, basically, if I remember correctly. Or one is anti-vehicle, one is anti-infantry. I don't remember. But as you can see, you know, there's Space Marines, which is obviously the main one. And as far as Space Marines are concerned, I mean, we might as well check them out, right? You're starting to see the ribbons. You're starting to see the resemblance. Chaplain. You know a little bit about the chaplain. He's the one that yells at us all the time. I think this is kind of similar to what the Archmagos is. Though I think he'd be more similar to this. Yeah, see, these are servitors. You see these everywhere. All the time. Oh, right. And this is a version of the servitor that has been given a heavy bolter. Kind of like what's put on a Space Marine. Because there's a couple different kinds of Space Marines. So you got your Space Marines. Tactical Marines, which get guns. Normal guns. You got your Assault Marines, which use jump packs. That's just like a type of infantry. I'm looking for Devastator. Recognize that mask? You ever notice how suspicious that does look when compared to this? See how awesome that is? that cool? And so yeah, this is essentially a devastator weapon put onto a servitor. And people might be like, oh, why do you need Space Marines? And so it's like, well, this guy is really weak. He's really easy to kill. So he does a lot of damage for his health pool. Especially when compared to a servitor. That's all they can do is like poke and slap and stab very delicately. Whereas this one can actually shoot, and it shoots with like the damage of a devastator. But it's also really slow, so it's not super useful. You don't really even make it. Not really. Then you have what are called Terminators. There's the Fist. Of course, you had to have the Fists. Terminators, they're the only ones that can use the Fists. That's a double bolter there. Double heavy bolter pistol. That one carries a flag. Means it punches extra hard, obviously. This is an apothecary. He basically heals. A Terminator apothecary. He heals everybody. I don't actually know what that is. It looks nightmarish, though. This is called a land speeder. You don't see any of these in Space Marine 2, but basically it's like a 2-passenger vehicle that carries 2 Space Marines and it flies around like a kind of airplane. It's an airplane with a machine gun turret, basically. I think we see a couple of these destroyed, but we don't see them actually do anything. Again, on Kadaku. That's frightening looking. This is called an ironclad dreadnought. It carries 6 plasma cannons and 2 rockets and a power fist with the blender maw. Actually, I think those are just the machine guns. Yeah, I think those are just the machine guns. This is a dreadnought that has the sharp claws, and it has the 6-barrel. Lore-wise, I think this is like a critical objective or something. Like a radar tank, gives you more vision. But in the lore, it's like something that needed to be protected. The Vindicator. The immenseness of how ridiculous the Vindicator is. I think we see a couple of these as well. In the wreckage on Kadaku. And of course, you have to have the Thunder Marines, the Thunderhawks. Gee, doesn't that look familiar? Let's go take a look at it. Close. Looks pretty familiar, doesn't it? It's exactly the same, really. Pretty amazing. But of course, there isn't just Space Marines. There's also the Inquisition.
Yes, Inquisitor.
I don't even know what that is, but that's cool as fuck. There's a melee weapon I hadn't thought to think of. The fucking spear. That's what we need. Something that's longer range but hurts less. The opposite of the hammer, yet extended. The hammer is obvious. Looks like they can have that thing too. A land raider built specifically to fight demons. It's as though it's got like a whole Grey Knight chunk put on top of it. I really like the, yeah, you see these guys in Chaos Gate, all the Grey Knights. And of course, the Inquisition dreadnoughts are even more crazy than the normal dreadnoughts, as you can see. Because this version, not only does it have the giant machine gun, but it also has the power fist, but it also has the double flamer. Double flamethrower under the fist, which means it bashes you in the face while also burning you to death with fire. And it's just smothered in ribbons. I mean, just look how many ribbons this guy has. Have you ever seen so many ribbons on any one thing? Look at this. How many is this? 2, 8, I don't know, like 15, 20 ribbons? Literally on everything. Even his butt has, even his butt has a ribbon on it. Maybe not him, but another one. Somebody does. Somebody has a ribbon on their butt. Oh, and look at this. It's even more cultier than shit. And you got ribbons. An apron of ribbons. You got an oceans of ribbons. His face is literally a church. What are you gonna do? shoot him through a church, you might as well just give up. Because his face is literally a church. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? He's even got candles. You see the candles? Pay no attention to these, just look at the candles. See how ridiculous this guy looks? It's almost silly. Yes, let's get back to normalcy, thanks. Not that the Inquisition are bad or anything. That's right, and so this one's made to fight Demon Hunter. That means it has dual las cannons, but it has 2 of them. So it has quad las cannons. So it has 4 laser cannons. Oh, and they also get that airplane. I don't even know what that is. That looks... Let me get this perfectly straight. It's a Grey Knight. Inside, a Ripley alien mech suit. Which is of itself ridiculous. Which itself has mechanical stuff on the outside to assist it in moving. Then on this arm it has 4 flamethrowers. And a hammer. And then on this side it has, I think that's a giant las cannon. And a sword. Which then braces this Space Marine in the center. What the hell is the Inquisition up to? Oh, and of course they also get their own version of the Titan. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? Now, some people were mentioning that you do see a little bit of the Necrons in Space Marine 2 campaign. And the answer to that question is yes, you do. I saw another accidental spoiler, which showed this. Oh, it looks like touching that unit made the game crash. Well, that's unfortunate. But anyway, long story short, you can see that there's a large amount of inspiration from other Warhammer universes.
Lieutenant, what did you see in those Mechanicus files?
A record of extreme foolishness.
Explain.
You may direct that request to our captain.
Give me a tactical overlay of the city.
Captain!
A minute.
The Adeptus Mechanicus must be stopped.
What?
If they trigger the weapon, the results could be catastrophic.
And what makes you suddenly an expert in Mechanicus research?
They're using an artifact to power the weapon. I've seen it before, on a planet named Graia. A traitor by the name of Nemroth called it a fragment of the Dark God's power that almost destroyed the planet.
Graia. Titus, the Mechanicus are acting on orders approved by the Primarch. And here are you, talking of Graia, of all places.
Damn it, Captain. If Chaos is here, if they get their hands on this thing...
Enough! I will hear no more on the subject. Now, did you get a location for Luz?
Aye, sir.
Then get down there and find him! There are those who would see you sent back to the Inquisition. Tread carefully,
Alrighty.
Damn them. After everything that happened. Brother, do not keep us in the dark. It is not your concern. You criticize the captain for withholding intelligence, and yet you treat us to the same evasive obscurity. Stray words have cost me dearly. So you do not trust us?
Brothers, calm yourselves, lest you face the chaplain's censure.
Yeah.
Look!
Not the Thunderhawk. But we need you to build our bases.
How bad is the contamination? That is well below tolerances. Check your thresholds. You're way overtuned.
Calibrating. Inspection passed.
I should think so.
These poor servitors. Yep.
That of repair. Seek specialist and commence repair.
Alright, now, we want access to the operations modes,
Time to go. I will not concede another loss to our
but we don't
enemies.
want it to be
Ready
easy
yourselves.
either. And if it's too hard, then I'll just turn it down again. Alright.
Brother, you seem troubled. I tire of reckless fools.
I hope you do not mean us.
Not unless you worship the Omnisign.
Ah, then I share your distaste.
Board the Thundership. The Thunderhawk. Time to drink some beer.
Approaching landing zone.
The temple is located inside the dome section of the city. We'll have to land outside and make our
Nice for emergency landing.
lock on.
Space
Lance Joe,
Marines.
Minor damage. Tech team is inbound.
can we depend on you for extraction?
Yes, Lord. We will be there.
Very good, brother. The Emperor protects. Make haste. We have considerable ground to cover.
Oh boy. Ah! Holy shit, I can't reload.
Tricky adversary.
No loot.
Is that you?
Chiron! Bless the Emperor. It's good to see you.
Where's your squad?
Gone. Neurothroat tore them to pieces.
We need to get across the bridge.
Lieutenant, nothing gets across with that beast up there.
What are we up against?
It has its rear covered and we do not have the manpower to break through. The Cadians are holding the bridge, at great cost.
Set up assault positions by the bridge. We'll deal with the Neurothroat.
Very well.
We will avenge them, brother.
Watch yourself.
Tactics. What's our theoretical? A direct assault on the rear guard. Toxins assail my senses. Target destroyed. Restocking.
stronghold from an Orcasol. The war was overpowered me. Hades drill against my head. Morales appeared, cut the bastard's arm off, and beat him to death with it. Let us
Ah.
Lictor neutralized.
That's just a normal lictor. That's not a lictor alpha.
Munitions secured. They will not get past this. I am his until death.
Brother, what happened on Dryer?
Nothing good.
Can you be specific?
I would sooner focus on the mission at hand.
You are withholding information relevant to the mission at hand.
Mind yourself, Sergeant.
Your behavior has been erratic. You force your way into classified files. You tell us nothing. Gatrio, we deserve to know who is leading us.
This conversation is over.
Come on, guys. We gotta fight the Tyranids. Not each other.
Restocking.
Loading fresh magazine.
Morales, ready your men.
You broke through.
We're about to take down the nerve probe.
Good. Make it suffer.
Get back in the fight.
Special tactics good.
Victory is ours, brothers.
Goddamn.
Morales, this is Titus. Your men are cleared to take the bridge.
By the Primarch, I had little faith I would hear from you again. Will you be joining the assault?
Our path leads to the dome.
Travel well, brothers.
Arms and Joe, we are heading for the bridge. Slavers are there.
Damage is worse than I thought. Tech priests are working on it now.
Keep me updated. Brothers, let us proceed. Canadians are driving the Tyranids back. Athena's coward before could a fair fight. Vile creatures. No time to gloat. We must keep moving.
Oh boy, Grotz.
Need a ride, brothers?
Sergeant, good to see you.
The Cadians had the bridge under control. Thought you could use an extra hand.
Oh, welcome up.
Come on. The temple is this way.
Lieutenant, the Cadians are requesting support.
Go. Thank you, brother. Ultramarines!
Oh good, some Imperial Guard. That's nice.
Have the enemy infiltrated the dome?
No, my lord. What about the Temple of Thasian? The dome was evacuated days ago.
Rejoin the main force immediately.
Our orders are to remain here.
On whose authority?
Captain Fairburn. We are to hold this position until further notice.
The dome is empty. Now move on.
But, sire...
I gave you an order.
Forgive me, my lord. Perhaps there was a communication error. The captain insisted. The deserters. No. We have our orders.
Vox your captain. If you are deserters, I'll execute you myself.
Captain Fairburn, come in. Captain Fairburn, come in.
Ambush!
Kill them!
Holy crap.
victory!
Am I not hitting them? What the hell?
Restocking! Your treachery ends now. Titus to Captain Akaran.
Akaran here.
We were just attacked by the forces of chaos.
You're certain?
No doubt. Heretic Astartes. And their minions.
Throne, damn it. Do you have Luz?
Negative. We're minutes away.
Find him and get him out of there. Hurry!
What are we waiting for?
We're waiting for loot. Oh my god. It's the Crystal Palace. The Fortress of 1,000 Mazes.
Cover him!
Oh my god.
I will grind your bones to dust.
Oh. I died. Well, that didn't go super great.
I will grind your bones to dust.
Munitions secured.
exit is blocked by heretic sorcery.
The altar. It bears the mark of the archangel.
Destroy it. Destroy that wild structure. Artifact destroyed.
Look! The force fields are collapsing!
Iron, move through the exit. Brother, by the gates of Hera, you must calm yourself.
I will not rest until every last vile heretic lies dead at my feet!
He's mad.
I have other business. Heretic cowards! I will end you!
Zangors. What?
New missile secure. On this side. Focus fire on the lower level. The champion lies defeated. Resupplying. Unit, no traces remain. Get to Chiron, now!
Sergeant, check the perimeter.
Yes, brother.
Explain yourself.
Need I justify my hatred?
You need justify your recklessness.
The traitors have a debt to me.
And you would throw away your life to collect?
Death is my duty!
Your duty is to the Emperor. You will die when and where he so chooses, not over some personal vendetta. Do you understand?
Lieutenant, you should see this.
They killed his friend. He's really mad.
Theirs must be in there.
They're using some kind of shield.
The altars. Same ones we encountered earlier. They must generate the shield.
Destroy them. Then purge these abominations from the face of this world.
It's Seems the traitor's motives are unmasked. Seems. You doubt they wish to stop the rule. You will soon learn that when dealing with heretics, nothing is as it seems.
They cried out my name, but I stayed hidden. My position, my rank, my life is worth more than theirs. I am of the Adeptus Administratum. I am of the Departamento Exceptor. I pay for the war. I am instrumental. I pass on the tithes. I open the purse that keeps our defense guns charged. Oh, they told the cultists where I'm hiding.
That is tempting.
Very good.
That is very tempting.
Artifact we saw in those classified files may be of Chaos origin.
Why wasn't it destroyed?
It is immensely powerful. They believe they can
Let it continue.
These are my orders.
I don't know about that.
What have we done? It matters not. Kill them! Attempting to breach the door. If it lives, then let us teach it of pain and death. It reeks of the war. Raise the armor of your contempt and snuff it out. Look! It shrinks from us. Then keep close and endure. We must disrupt the spell.
Hold the point. Use the point as cover.
Quickly, destroy it!
Lieutenant Titus to Lance of Jove, status report.
We are patched up all our way.
See you at the objective.
The Emperor protects.
Lance of Jove, stand by for extraction.
Affirmative.
In the name of the Emperor, open the doors! Morius lose.
I owe you my existence.
Come with us.
To where?
The battle barge.
Compliance, but I must speak with Archmagus Nozick at once.
He's dead.
Dead?
You are to replace him. Lose.
Lance.
Approaching battle barge, docking in 1 minute.
The power source. It's dangerous.
I have spent my life studying it. I assure you it's quite safe. In the right hands.
Arrogance.
Arrogance.
Why must the Mechanicus meddle with the unknown?
We follow the will of the Omnisire.
Go ahead.
Titus, report to Captain Akaran immediately on arrival.
Confirmed.
Titus. A Captain Titus was killed on the Forge world of Graia over a century ago. He died holding the power source in his hands. Not even an Astartes could survive power of that magnitude.
Morius lose. Come with me.
Ah. Figured out there's something off with Titus. And now they're both like, what the fuck?
We must report to Captain Akaran.
Plug those remedial links immediately. I will need a repair crew before my next flight. Take note of the battle damage for the engine sears. Armor plating in sections 28B and 40E is compromised along with void seals. Portside aileron is jammed.
Outside afterburner has shrapnel lodged inside. Pressure test the fuel system after the leaks are sealed. Heavy bolters require a full resupply. Short-range sensors have been rendered useless. Make that a priority.
I'll make the necessary arrangements, my lord.
Yes, servitors. Do as you're told. I feel like this is the goodest place as any to end it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.